What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the Two Brain Business channel. I'm Jeff, mentor with Two Brain Business, and I'm here to talk to you guys about a very simple rudimentary technique to presenting your sales options. We want to make your sales process easier, and this is a great option for that. So we're going to talk about that today. Before we do, if you guys like this content, or you're looking for more actionable advice to improve your life and your business, as well as increase revenue immediately, then you might want to consider subscribing to the channel. You can also hit the like button on this video, it helps us out a lot, and you can ring that notification bell so you can see when we post more videos. All right, so what is this simple rudimentary technique you're talking about? It is the pricing binder and drop-down selling. This deadly combo will work together to help you make more sales and increase your average revenue per sale immediately. So a couple simple techniques coming at you today, but let's start with the basis of this, which is the pricing binder. The pricing binder is something that I introduced at the Two Brain Summit actually 3 years ago to the Two Brain family. And it's a very simple thing that seems on the surface kind of ridiculous and outdated, but is the most absurdly easy thing that you can use to make more sales today. You might be using a sheet of paper. You might be writing out manually every time you have a sales meeting with somebody. You might be writing out your prices. You might have the restaurant menu, as I like to think of it, where there's like every option you've ever offered on the page. This might be you. And if it is, that's okay. Maybe it worked for you. Maybe it doesn't work for you. There's better options out there. And I want to introduce one to you today, which is the pricing binder. So it's exactly like it sounds. It's a binder full of paper. I recommend laminating those sheets of paper, but on those sheets of paper, you're going to have one of your programs. No more than one, just one. And in that program, you're going to create 2 to 4 options, no less, no more. We don't want more than 4 because we create paralysis by analysis, and Mrs. Jones has to think a whole lot before she can actually sign up for something like that. This is what you get if you guys are selling off the restaurant menu. Like I mentioned, all of your program options. It's too many things on one page, or too many things for Mrs. Jones to think about at one time. So less than 4 options prevents that paralysis by analysis. More than 2 options allows you to option close and do what we like to call price anchoring, which is what will increase your front end revenue automatically. So price anchoring is the technique of having a low price item, a high price item, and something right up the middle, which is the average. That is where most people go. You can look at it as a distribution curve almost, where 20% of the people are going to buy the high end, 20% will automatically buy the low end, and then we've got this nice 60% group that goes right up the middle to your middle option. So again, by creating just 1 or 2 extra options on this page, you're going to automatically increase your front end revenue. So there's your first tip right there. From there, option closing, we've talked about on previous videos, is just a method of saying which of these options works best for you or which option fits you best. It's an open-ended closing question. It's one that, the most novice beginner salesperson can use with confidence, or even the most experienced salesperson can use just to make selling easy. Each page is going to have 1 program, 2 to 4 options, pricing on there. That's it. Now, what do we do with the binder? Well, we fill it, and I did recommend laminating these sheets, but we fill it with all of your programs. So it might be 5, 10, 15, 20 pages in total. We're not going to show every single prospect, every single Mrs. Jones is not going to see all of those pages, just 4 or 5 of them. So we'll talk about drop-down selling here as it applies to the pricing binder and closing. Drop-down selling is the method of going from the top to the bottom. Start with your highest value, which should be your page 1 of your pricing binder, to your lowest value, which should be your last page of your pricing binder. Order by value, order by revenue potential, cost, right? Value, cost, equivalent. So your most expensive, highest end package is page 1. Your lowest end package is page 20 or 25, whatever, however many pages you've got in your binder, right? Drop-down selling is going from page 1 to page 2 with grace, transitioning smoothly, keeping Mrs. Jones engaged and wanting to hear more, even though she couldn't afford the options on page 1. Now that sounds easy, it's actually a little bit tricky on the surface. You've got to go about it in the right way. So what do? So as long as your pricing binder is in order, we can make this a bit easier on ourselves. What we're going to do is we're going to present the options on page 1. We'll assume Mrs. Jones has said, no, I can't afford those options. not sure where to go with the sale from here. Well, we're going to drop down. So what I want you to do is just address Mrs. Jones like such. Ms. Jones, I hear what you're saying. What you're telling me is these options seem intriguing to you, but they're outside of your price range. Am I right? She says, yes. You say, no problem. The great thing is we've got plenty of different programs here to offer you, and I know one of them is going to be a good fit for you. It's just a question of which one. So why don't we do this? Let's check out some other options. Now, the transition comes into play. The transition is actually recapping Mrs. Jones's needs, her wants, her goals, her why before presenting those other options. Otherwise, you have nothing to stand on. You're basically just saying, these are too expensive. How about these? These are too expensive. How about these? So on and so forth until Mrs. Jones says, please shut up, I'd like to leave now. And that's what's going to happen. So what we want to do is we say, Mrs. Jones, keep in mind that you came in today looking to lose some weight. We came up with a number, 20 pounds. You said you want to lose it because of X, Y, and Z reasons. Literally repeat the reasons. You say, I'm so excited to help you out with this. You know, these options don't work. That's totally fine. I think these are going to be great for you. So the concept here is that you're taking them from the first place prize, a grand prize, to second prize. But you have to make it sound like second prize is now the new first prize. That's what we're going for. Mrs. Jones, these don't work, then they don't matter. I like laminated sheets because it allows me to cross out the options. I can literally put an X right through it and say, these don't work, then they don't matter. Don't matter to me. I'll rip them out of the binder. They'll never go back in here. I don't have to do that. Mrs. Jones just needs to see this as an act of me and you, us. We're working together. This is a team effort, right? So turn the page, go to the next page. We say, Mrs. Jones, I'm so excited about these other options here for you. I think they're going to be great. Let's talk about this. And then we go through those options. Same process, do your option close. Which of these options works best for you? Mrs. Jones says this one, or she says, I still don't think I can afford any of these. Then you go from second prize to third prize, but third prize is the new first prize. So if these don't work, no problem, Mrs. Jones, let's get those out of here, right? Don't even worry about them. Here's the thing, I've got these other great options for you. Let's talk about this, because keep in mind, we're here for review, right? Go back through your notes, recap, go over the things that she said. Two key concepts here. Number one, Mrs. Jones has the endurance to drop down 4 or 5 times. 5 is really like a maximum. So you can drop down from page 1 to page 5 if you have 5 pages in your book. So try to have enough options that you can do that. So if right now all you have is membership or PT, you don't have enough options. Create more options. Create some high value hybrid options. Build something up. If you guys have questions on that, hit us up in the comments below. You can always book a free call with a professional mentor who owns a business that is successful by going to twobrainbusiness.com and booking a free call. And we can talk more about some options there. But I recommend something extremely high value that, again, less than 10% of people buy maybe. That's fine. It creates another layer, another option. Because as you drop down, the more times you drop down, the more likely Mrs. Jones is to say yes. That's the thing, is like as you peel back the pages, she's getting more and more close to saying, let's do it, right? If you only have 2 options, you're not going far enough. This is a marathon, not a sprint. It's not, can't do our membership? Get out of here. That's not what we're trying to do. So let's say you can't do this, that's fine. Let's find what you can do. Set yourself up for success in that way. Second, consumers have amnesia. There's such a thing as consumer amnesia. What this means is that during the sales process, Mrs. Jones may have poured her heart and soul out to you in that first part of the sale, the discovery phase. However, when the dollar signs touched the page, when you opened that price binder ever so slightly, all of a sudden, Mrs. Jones forgot everything she ever said, all of the emotion that was experienced during this sale, and is now solely concerned with the width of her pocketbook, how much money is in her bank account. Now we've got a problem because she doesn't care about the emotion anymore, and that's what helps you make the sale. That's why we recap. That's why you have to bring that information back every time you drop. Every single drop down, remember, Mrs. Jones, we're going to be here working on losing that weight because you said blah, 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 right? Whatever Mrs. Jones said, just repeat it back to her. And you just rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. 5th time, give up. right? And I don't mean give up as in quit, close the binder, get out of here, Mrs. Jones. I just mean to say, Mrs. Jones, it seems like we're getting close here. It just seems like none of these options seem to be fitting right now, and that's okay, right? I like to, keep you involved in some way, keep you engaged in some way. Can I put you on my email newsletter? Can I follow up with you in a week, in 2 weeks? When can you come back in to meet with me? When would this be a better time? When do you think you might be able to get started? Like, hold on to this prospect. You've invested all this time into her. Why would you be like, well, see you later, right? That's a waste. Don't do that with your leads. Give them another chance to work this out. Hopefully that's helpful for you guys. I want you to, again, try to take one thing from this video that you can take action on right now. So pick something, go take action on it. Let us know how it goes. Hit us up in the comments below. As always, thank you for watching the video on the Two Brain Business channel. Be sure to subscribe for more content like this, more actionable advice. Smash a like on this video. That helps us out a lot. Ring that notification bell so you can see when we post more videos. Again, I've been Jeff, mentor for Two Brain Business, and I'll see you guys next time.